All right, there we go. Good morning. Welcome back, everybody. We're back after the network apocalypse, whatever you want to call it, and stuff. So it's good to be back. I'm going to spend a few minutes just kind of getting us up to date, what's been adjusted, what's expected, and first and foremost to put you at ease, okay? Because I know it's stressful. I've felt really stressed, so I can only imagine for you guys, how stressful it's been and what are the expectations and getting behind, especially if you're really on top of your assignments and grades. My goal today is to put you at ease for this class and that we're just going to pick up where we left off. All right. And if you have any questions, letting me know and stuff, because 100% I don't want you to be stressed. Okay. So in the announcements yesterday, I posted my normal to do and stuff. So basically attendance started back up yesterday. Okay. So attending classes on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, filling out your forms on Monday, Friday. Okay. So that's expected again. The last 2 weeks, the school is supposed to take care of that. Okay. So the school is supposed to take care of that, give a little bit of time, but the school is supposed to take care of that. Okay. I'll come back to what's due Friday really quick. So the past due assignments. So week 9 and week 10, they were already due when everything shut down, but the late window was still open. So everything else had closed before that. Okay, so those are closed because those were in Q1. But these I've extended. Okay, so these are things that were due before things shut down. So you technically have had time, but you were supposed to have another week or so to turn them in. So I've went ahead and extended them. Okay, so week 9. If you didn't do your reflection, that's going to be open till the 10th. If you didn't do week 9 exact path, that's open till the 10th. The high school plan, after high school, what are you thinking you might do? That's extended till the 17th. That was due the week before everything shut down. So we did that in class. And then the exact path, we did that in class. But again, if you didn't get those in, you have some time to get those in. Now, once those close, those will be closed permanently because I've already I'm giving the extra time. Okay. So this 2 weeks, week and a half is the extra time. Okay. So any questions on these are the things that were open when everything shut down. So I've extended what was open. Okay. Everything else was from Q1. So I'm not going to go back, and that was before all of this. So it shouldn't be impacted by that. Okay. Week 11, what I have done, week 11 and 12, roughly the 2 weeks that we were down. Okay. I just went ahead and bumped them to this week. All right. So some of you were able to log in and you got my messages and you were completing work, then you're going to be ahead of the game for this week. Okay. If you have not been able to log in the last 2 weeks, or you're like, I'm not going to mess with it, I'm going to wait till we come back for whatever reason. Okay. Then you aren't behind. We're basically going to pick up where we left off. Okay. And stuff. So the things that would have been assigned week 11, I just renamed them to week 13, which is what we're in right now. Okay. So they'll be due this Friday. Okay. Week 13. We're in week 13. So I basically just bumped everything 2 weeks. So the last 2 weeks, basically, if you did the work from week 11, then this counts. Okay. So let me go in and I'll show you what I mean. All right. So in Canvas, go to modules. Okay. And stuff. So you can see exact path. Okay. I have to update. Oh, I didn't do I have to do that today. Okay. I thought I did, and I guess I didn't. A lesson and recording page for today. All right. So I will go in and I will update this. I thought I did it yesterday, and I guess I didn't. So I did it for the other classes, but, okay. I need to update that. If you go down and you go to week 10, 11, okay, you'll see week 10. And then you'll see it says week 13. Okay. I went in and renamed those. Those should have been week 11, but that was when everything shut down and we didn't even meet. Okay. And then last week, obviously we didn't meet, you know what I mean? And a lot of people were having issues still getting in until yesterday, or there's still a handful of students that can't get in, so we're trying to be as flexible and keep everybody together as possible. Okay. So the 2 things that need to be done this week, okay, is exact path progress reflection. All right. And I'll go over that here in a second. And then working in exact path. Okay. 30 to 40 minutes in math, 30 to 40 minutes in reading. Okay. It's stuff. So, and this is what was assigned week 11. I've just bumped it to week 13. Okay. Does that make sense? Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense, or ask a question if I need to. I will update the live session page today. I thought I did that yesterday, and I did it. So I will get that done today while we're working. Okay. So basically the last 2 weeks, you can just take a breath Okay, you're not behind. If you were able to log in and you did the week 11 exact path progress reflection, it's stuff that counts. Okay, all I did was just rename it. So if there were a handful of people who did it, that's awesome. You'll be able to see that it was graded. I just renamed it. Okay, same with exact path week 11. If you did that, I just renamed it week 13. Then you're ahead of the game and you'll be able to work on other classes maybe that you need to catch up in. Okay, so for today, so basically we're just going to pick up where we left off. I just renamed stuff. So we're skipping week 11, 12. And all I did was basically take week 11 and I renamed it for this week, okay, to week 13. So for today, what needs to get done is I want you to do this. See, 6 of you have turned it in and I've graded those. So if you did this 2 weeks ago and it said week 11 exact path progress reflection, you don't need to redo it, okay? And stuff. I will be going through tomorrow and making the adjustments as I'm going to go over here. Okay. So what you do for this assignment, okay, so you go into modules, you go to the week 13 exact path progress reflection. Do you feel exact path math lesson assignments are at your ability level? So this is kind of a check-in because I didn't assign the exact path. So they were assigned based on your MAP scores from last year. If they were available. If not, your English or math teachers assign them. So this is an opportunity to kind of get feedback from you of how is it going, okay? Is it too hard? Is it a bit challenging? Is it just right? Is it too easy? Pick one. Tell me why, so is it too hard? Tell me why. The goal would be just right or a bit challenging. That would be the goal. It's okay if it's a bit challenging. It's not, you don't need to be getting 100%. Where it's too hard is when you keep redoing it and you just have no idea. I would say if, 2/3, 50% of the questions or more, you're like, I have no idea, then that's too hard. Okay. If it's a little challenging, if in 10 questions, there's 1 or 2, you're like, oh, I'm not really sure. That's about where you want it. Okay. Or just right, where you can do them with a little bit of effort. If it's super easy, that's not the point. Okay. So the goal is you kind of want to be in the just right, a bit challenging category. If it's too hard or too easy, letting me know. All right. So tell me which it is and why. Okay. Do you feel the exact path reading lessons assigned to you are at your ability? So same thing. Is it too hard? You're just like, I'm not passing them. I redo them and it doesn't get any better. It's okay if you have to redo something. Just because you have to redo something doesn't mean it's too hard. Maybe you weren't paying attention. Maybe you just needed to grasp it a little bit better. So the goal again would be a bit challenging or just right. We don't want too easy, but we also don't want too hard. So too hard would be, again, if you're missing, 50%, 2/3 of the questions. Too easy if you're smoking through it and you're like, oh my gosh, this is kindergarten, So the goal is we want it to be a bit challenging or just right, okay, where it's causing you to think and you got to kind of work at it. Maybe you don't get 100%, but you are progressing, okay? So giving me your reason. And then finally with number 3, do you want me to alter your path? So which one? So let's say, for example, math, you feel like it's just right, then I won't alter that. But maybe the reading one, you feel like it's too hard. So explain to me which one, if you would want me to adjust your reading path or your math path and why. I need this done today, okay? And you get 9 points for this. And this goes in I believe this goes in the summative category. Let me look. What category do I have this in? Yep, summative. Okay, so you get easy points for just reflecting. All right, this is a great way to get a good grade. Okay. And then what I'm going to do tomorrow while you all work in exact path, I will go through, and the people that have asked for adjustments, I will go through and do my best to make adjustments. Okay, if it's too hard or if it's too easy, to try to make it more at your ability level. Okay, questions? Yes, that's a good question. So anything from week 9, so 9, 10, and then 13 is this week. So basically 11 and 12, they don't exist because we didn't meet and most people didn't have access, right? So I'm just taking the stuff from week 11 and I'm bumping it to week 13. We're just going to pick up literally where we left off. Okay. Does that answer the question? Okay. Any questions on reflection? So what I want you to do, let's do like 10 minutes. Please go and complete this reflection right now. Okay, so go and complete this reflection. So how do you feel about your math? How do you feel about your reading? Okay, and then if you're wanting me to make an adjustment, It's okay if it's hard. The goal is we don't want it to be too hard. Okay. It should be a bit challenging. That's the goal. You want to get better, right? It's a completion grade. So you're not being penalized because you're not getting 100% on it. The goal is to challenge you and to make you better. So you're not being penalized by it being a bit challenging. So if it's a bit challenging, that's right where we want it. What we don't want is too hard where you're not progressing and you totally don't. You feel like the concepts are going right over your head. That's what we don't want. So being honest, letting me know, and then tomorrow I can go in and while everyone works at ExactPath, because it'll take me a little bit of time, then I'll go through and make those adjustments. Okay, so give me a thumbs up. You're working on the reflection if you haven't already. Any questions on how to complete the reflection? And this is just about being honest and kind of how you're feeling. Because then this is just a completion grade. So you're not getting 100% because you're not struggling, or you're not going to get an F because you're struggling. Like, it's just about you being honest. Okay. Okay. So I'll give you till 9:25. Okay. And then we'll come back and then we'll talk about ExactPath, and that'll wrap up our day. So getting this done, do it right now in class. Don't do it later. Do it right now in class. Get this submitted. So the week 13 ExactPath progress reflection. If you've already done it, awesome. If you haven't, then please get this done so that tomorrow, if I need to, I can go in and make those adjustments in ExactPath. I got one more submitted. I got 14 people in here, so I should have 14 or more of those in my box by the next 6-7 minutes. Okay. So getting these reflections done. And this is a summative grade. So this, like, just giving me your feedback and you get an A. So no reason you shouldn't have an A in this class. About 3 more minutes, get this submitted. All right, and then we'll move on to ExactPath. Okay, how are we doing? So I'm showing I got 2 submitted. All right. So I mean, some of you, I know I had 6 from before, but some of you still need to get this submitted. Okay. This is an easy 9 points. Okay. Is it just reflecting on how ExactPath is going? And then actually it's to your benefit, to be honest with me, because if you need adjustments, if it's too hard, I can see where that would be really discouraging. So if I can make adjustments to it, then that will make working in ExactPath not a frustrating experience, hopefully something that you're benefiting from. Okay. But the best way for me to know that is for you to give me that feedback. All right. And you get a summative grade for it. So it's a win-win. Okay. It's a win-win. So once this is done, okay, then for the remainder of the period today and then tomorrow, okay, when we meet on Wednesday and we've got the 80 minutes, okay, then you are going to be working in ExactPath, okay? So as before, the goal is 30 minutes, or sorry, 30, 40 minutes in reading and the same in math. The goal is to get to or finish that learning skill, get to the progress quiz, right? And then once you're done, then you submit your completion statement, okay? And I do log into ExactPath and check how long you were in, okay? So it's not just about finishing, but you need to be putting in the time, which you should be if you're working, especially the whole period on Wednesdays. That's exactly enough time to do both, okay? And stuff. So the goal is 30, 40 minutes in each one, and we meet for 80 minutes, all right? So that should be plenty of time for you to put in that time. But it shows me if you're just sitting there, if nothing was completed. If you're logged in for an hour, but nothing was completed, you won't get credit. Okay. Also, same thing. If you're logged in for 5 minutes and you finished up a lesson, well, that means you were already almost done with it last week. Okay. So it needs to be that you're working. All right. So you're working. And it shows me both. It shows me how long you're logged in, and it shows me what's been completed. All right. And in 40 minutes, if you're logged into math or reading, you should be getting something done, or at least a good chunk of a section done. Okay. A lesson done. And if you're not, then that's why you need to fill out that reflection and let me know that it's too hard. Okay. So that I can make adjustments to it. All right. And stuff. So no excuse for, well, I can't do it. And then just blowing it off. Right. And stuff. Let me know. And then tomorrow I will go through and spend that period making those adjustments so that if it is too hard, that I can make it more at your ability level. Okay. Any questions? Okay. Does anyone need me to review how to get into ExactPath? Anyone need me to review how to get into ExactPath? Do you remember? It's been 2 weeks. Do you remember how to get in through Clever? Can you give me a thumbs up if you remember? Right? And you go to get into, and you go to the Edmentum icon in Clever, and then it should launch, and you just pick up where you left off. So we have about 10 minutes left today. So what I would do is, if let's say math is too hard for you, then start with reading today, and you can work on reading tomorrow while I get math adjusted, okay? Or if reading is too hard for you, then work on math. And again, I'll do it the very first thing in class tomorrow once I go through the responses, and I'll make a list. And then I can go through and make those adjustments so that when you go to work on them tomorrow, they are at your level, okay? Or more suited to your level, okay? You guys are being really quiet. Well, you guys are always quiet because you guys don't mute very often and stuff like that, but I'm not really getting much response, okay? So can I get a thumbs up if we can get into Edmentum and we'll get started today, please? Thank you. Okay, that's 2 of you I need. Thank you, Marlene. Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you, Amaro. Okay, go ahead and get logged into ExactPath. Get 10 minutes done. That'll save you some time tomorrow. Okay, we'll hang out for about another 10 minutes. I'll let you go a minute or two early, and then we will meet tomorrow. Okay, I am going to stop recording. So the 2 things that need to be done today, for sure, before you start working on ExactPath, make sure that this reflection, the week 13 reflection, is done. Answering these 3 questions, getting that submitted. Okay, and then when you're done with that, you start working in ExactPath. All right, and I would work on whichever one is easier for you. So if math is easy, then work on math. If reading is easier, whichever one is harder, and maybe especially if you're wanting me to make adjustments to it, work on the other one, and then I will make adjustments beginning of class tomorrow, and that will help you. Then hopefully once you get to it, that'll help you be a little bit more at your level and hopefully not so frustrating. Okay. All right, so we'll take about 10 minutes. You can keep working. I am going to stop recording, and then we'll pick up where we've left off tomorrow.